What is up, Mario RPG fans? In this video, I will be talking about all the 6 Paper Mario games and ranking them based on how good I think their story is. This is the last video I'll be doing before I just do a general ranking. So we did a battle system, an art ranking, a soundtrack ranking, and then I'm going to do a general ranking last. But in this video, we're just going to be focusing on the stories of each of the games. I'm not going to pretend like Paper Mario is the most groundbreaking series for good stories. I've played a lot of RPGs, and these are pretty subpar compared to a lot of the games I've played, but they're all fun and charming in their own way, so we're going to rank them here. All right. Starting off with the original Paper Mario, I'm going to give the story in this game a D tier. I know it's going to make some people mad, but it's charming, it's fun. I do like that we do get to switch perspective from Mario to Peach, but in the end, this is just saving Princess Peach from Bowser again, and it is more charming than most saving Princess Peach from Bowser stories, but even individual chapters are pretty mediocre story-wise, at least compared to the Thousand Year Door, at least. Like, we've got, I mean, the ones that are cool, like the toy box, like, that seems really cool, but the villain sucks, so it's not like there's, like, a compelling motive going throughout that story. So the overarching plot is pretty awful when you reduce it down, and each individual chapter is nothing too special, in my opinion. I think that the original Paper Mario has one of the weakest plots of the series. All right, now we're moving into Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, which I'm going to give a C tier for its plot, and, I mean, it really, in the end, Thousand Year Door, it's the same as Paper Mario, but with more charming characters. It's definitely a little bit more interesting, for sure. Actually, what am I doing? This is a B tier. I don't know why I put it in the... sorry, a B tier, not a C tier. It's a pretty good plot, but it's nothing way too special. It's just... I don't know. I do like that you're... Some things are really cool, right? Each of the chapters individually are awesome, and opening a 1,000-year-old door that you don't know what's behind it is definitely cooler than just fighting Bowser. But I do think that this game is missing some, like, emotional stakes and stuff. There's a lot of fake out deaths and all this cringy stuff. Some bad plot choices, and it's a fun story overall. It definitely has more standout moments because the partners actually have character in this game. Like, in the original, Bo is like the only one who actually really has, like, a backstory or anything. Whereas in this one, we've got Bobby's story, Vivian's story, Koops' story. Like, those are all really good. Yeah, I mean, they're not all amazing, but, like, we've got definitely some better little subplots and stuff. And I think it's a pretty B tier story all around. Like, it's good enough, it's charming, it's a fun story, but it's nothing groundbreaking or anything. And I mean, honestly, all these are relative to each other. Even like an S plus Paper Mario story is probably only like a B tier or maybe an A tier compared to other RPGs. So that's unfortunately just the way it is. But anyway, but Super Paper Mario is going to go in the A tier. It's definitely one of the better stories. I know that the whole summoning the pure hearts all over again is kind of a like a Deus Ex Machina, but really it's, I don't know, it's just one of the more emotional ones. Everything with Tippy and Count Bleck is awesome. The fact that the plot gets really crazy and good in chapter 6 when the world gets wiped out, you literally die, go to the place where games end. They have to climb all the way back up and beat Count Bleck. Like, that's really cool. And just each individual chapter has like a little prologue and a little epilogue, and it's just the story is told in a much better way throughout the game, and it really kicks it in high gear at the very end of the game. And again, compared to a lot of other games, it's not the greatest thing ever, but for a platformer, especially where you don't really get to talk to as many people as in like Thousand Year Door and Paper Mario, just because the nature of it is a platformer. It's just a really well done story. I think it's awesome. Some people claim it's the best story of all time, and I think that's very silly because they obviously haven't played lots of other RPGs and stuff, but Super Paper Mario is definitely a great story, and yeah, it's a great game all around, so I think it deserves the A tier. All right, Sticker Star, it barely has a story, it's F tier. Like, Bowser doesn't talk, barely anyone talks. I mean, like, you get those little clips from the bosses, but like, there's literally nothing here. I mean, it's Bowser wants to get some MacGuffins, Sticker Comet, and then he wants to get OP. Like, it's really, I mean, and he captured Peach, of course. It's a little better than your typical new Super Mario Bros. Plot, but only by like 3%. Like, this is not a great plot whatsoever. And there's not really anything to say about Paper Mario. I will say Kirsty's sacrifice at the end is a little sad. Definitely not nearly as sad as any of the other sacrifices in the series, but you know, it was still kind of sad, and it was kind of epic when the music changed and all that. But that's the only part of the story that isn't F tier, and that's like 10 seconds of the game. So yeah, definitely there's like no story here. So yeah. All right, Color Splash, I want to give a C. I know I put it above the original Paper Mario, but where the original Paper Mario might be more charming, I do like the creepy vibe of Color Splash. I like the flashbacks with the paint stars. I think the idea that like paint's kind of like the blood of the universe is just kind of interesting. And there's just some like fun body horror type things with the color draining and all that stuff. And to me, I just think it's more interesting than the original Paper Mario because that's literally just save Peach. And it's really, I mean, it's the same as Sticker Star when you really boil down to it. There's barely any story. I mean, yes, it's told in an infinitely better way than Sticker Star, but I just think the Color Splash is able to find a more interesting narrative to tell than Paper Mario, the original, and Huey's sacrifice is better than pretty much anything in the original Paper Mario, in my opinion. I'm going to be honest, and I really do like the Paint Star flashbacks. I like some of the individual stories of the levels more than I like the chapter stories of Paper Mario, and that's probably controversial as heck, but that's what I'm saying here. And then Origami King is easily taking the top of this list in my opinion. The story is not. It's the one story in this game that doesn't. It's one story in the series that doesn't feel very fragmented because the whole time, like, you beat a chapter and it's like, oh, you just finished this little story, and then most of the story, like, I don't know. Whereas the other ones, there's mini stories and there's kind of an overarching plot where you got to beat up the big bad guy once you collect all the stars or whatever the other MacGuffin is. In this game, it's a progressive journey all the way through. Every single minute, things are happening, and it's just awesome. Bobby's moments are some of the best things I've ever seen in a video game story-wise. And yeah, there's some problems. Like, if you really look into Ollie's motivation for what he does, and it just makes no sense. Yeah, there's not as many interesting characters as like Super Paper Mario or Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, so it's definitely not S+. I don't think I could ever call, if there's ever a Paper Mario game that has an S+ story, I will be shocked, but even still, I kind of want to make a E tier just so I really don't even think that Origami King is an S tier story, but to me, it's just really emotional with Bobby and stuff, and I think that there's enough epic moments, epic cinematography, just really cool stuff. For me, Origami King definitely has a story that I resonated with me the most, that I cared about the most. With Bobby, all the stuff at the Shangri Spa was another one. The final Origami Castle moments, everything with Bowser. Just there's so many good moments in this game. Whereas Super Paper Mario, I really just love the end. I think Origami King does a little bit of a better job distributing it throughout the game. Whereas I think these are really the only two that I think have an actually good story. Like, these are really just, yeah, they have little side stories that are fun. Well, this doesn't. These three have little parts of the game that are fun, but I wouldn't say the whole story is good. Whereas with Super Paper Mario, it's definitely told better, but I think Origami King is overall my favorite story. But on, I don't know, some days of the week I might say this, but I think I'm sticking with Origami King. I think objectively, I think the Super Paper Mario story is more interesting and stuff, but Origami King's more emotional, and I care about emotional more than intriguing in this case, because if I want intrigue, I'm not going to play a Paper Mario game, honestly. So, yeah, I think the heartfelt, emotional story of Origami King is my favorite. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, check out the other ones. I got a battle system, an art, and a soundtrack ranking, and then I'm going to do an overall ranking in the next couple days. So we're all celebrating the new Paper Mario 1000-Year Door remake, so that's why I'm making all these videos. So hope you enjoy this video. Let me know if you want anything else in the future, and thank you all for watching, and have a fantastic day. Peace out, Mario RPG fans.